Hello, everybody. Hello. Today we're joined with Bunnytooth having a stream for the shits and giggles. I mean, there isn't really a particularly. We haven't really picked a topic for this stream, but hopefully we talk about something cool or interesting. Probably going to change the name of this stream or the title of it depending on what the topic came up. So we're like Ditto right now. We're adaptive. You know what I mean? Like Ditto. We'll evolve. We change. So
Yes, because we're humans.
exactly. Oh yeah.
At least I am. I don't know about Trav though.
No, I'm definitely human. But anywho, what I was just thinking a bit about was the conversation we had last night in the Discord about the trajectory and growth of a lot of YouTubers, like what ends up happening to them.
Yeah.
Like how YouTubers they'll grow, the algorithm will love them, they'll end up peaking, and then they'll stagnate, and they won't change. You know what I mean? They just won't change their trajectory with respect to the way they do content. They just sort of stay the same and they don't really evolve. Like Sargon of Akkad is still doing the same stuff. Destiny. And they've already embedded themselves or carved a niche for themselves. So like for them to like correct themselves when they did something wrong at that point, like anything systematically, change wise, it's like in their material interest to like stay the same, you know?
Also, just because we're so used to it, right? Like, I think you get to a certain point where you're just like, this is my. It's like, what is it? Your 9 to 5. It's just your 9 to 5. You're just doing the runs. Like, I'm gonna complain about this article and barely read it. Okay, guys, here you go. Blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah, and then end of stream / talk whatever, and then people are like, "Oh my gosh, he's right," and they just complain about it in Discord, and that's it.
Very funny was the way it was phrased, though. How Sargon, there's no contradictions. There's no people arguing with one another. It's like, oh, hey, Jason. What's up, Jason? Don't make me ban you, asshole. Actually, do you want to come in the stream? But anyways, you can come in here if you want. I'll send you a link. But as I was saying, it's more or less a hug box. You know what I mean? Like there's no. It's an echo chamber, like the anti-SJW echo chamber.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think I don't know. I wonder if this is just something that people have researched about online communities in general. Because I mean, I'm guessing you don't go on Tumblr at all, but there's basically these fossil communities within Tumblr where it makes like if you look into what they're talking about, it's like straight up from like 2012 or some shit, like 2013, 14, 15. And they're just doing the same exact thing, talking about the same exact thing for years and years on end. And I guess YouTube is not really different in that respect.
I'd agree for the most part, but I think there's some with regards to. I think we moved from the SJW era to the Radlib era.
The Radlib era, you say, huh?
Yeah, you notice that SJWs really aren't really in that whole fashion anymore. Now it's the Radlib.
Yeah. Critiquing Radlibs is always a fun thing, though. Like, I have plenty to say about Radlibs in general. The biggest issue is just it's the simple thing of people just not being radical enough. Like, if that makes any sense. Here, I'll make this stream a lot more interesting. Watch this.
Borg.
Not with the dog, but with Baldur's Gate. So you were saying?
Yeah, I mean the thing of just screaming, "Fucking a white male," is gone, and it's been replaced with "Vote blue no matter who," or
yeah. So the biggest problem, the biggest mistake I think the American left made last year was the over prioritization of electoralism more than anything else. Not enough emphasis on organizing, not enough emphasis on individual activism, and even worse, the propensity for anyone to like suggest that we stop supporting the Democrats to be treated as like a wrecker or like utopian, as though the Democrats are really that much of a superior alternative to the Republicans. You know,
Well,
Trump derangement syndrome is very real.
I mean, you know what I'm going to say to that.
I mean, by all means, we're here having an open discussion about stuff.
First worlders get a first world.
I would add though that I think that I think it's not just like the whole vote blue thing. I think it's more it's more about like the content that's being reacted to, which is the content itself, because obviously a lot of YouTube is just reacting and commentary. I mean, we're doing that literally right now, and that's what gets views. So I think because of Trump coming into office and the sort of rise of the right-wing alternative media, a lot of the reaction to that became popular, going again, and people were sort of done with the whole like anti-SJW shit because it stagnated. Like there's nothing else to be discussed. But now it started with like, oh, let's get on PragerU and get on this and that and this, and it's like because that's the current thing that's trending, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of like how Happy Wheels or Fortnite is like trending at some point, and that people all get on that.
Yeah, it almost feels like political ideology is a fad, like a fad to be marketed to or advertised.
Well, I mean, because it kind of have to be.
Oh yeah. I mean, PragerU and Turning Point USA are a perfect example of that. I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd swear PragerU was trolling. So I know they're feeding into a preconceived belief, and I know that a lot of what they're saying, they know what they're saying is wrong, but they're feeding into that preconceived bias.
Confirmation bias.
Well, it's not even a confirmation bias because there's no actual confirmation. It's just they already know what their audience thinks and then just plays right into that.
I mean, more or less, yeah. The thing is like, man, I wish I had like the platform or infrastructure of like a Second Thought or a Vosh, I wish I had that kind of social media clout. It's just very difficult to build. And one thing I've noticed is like there's a propensity. I mean, it's almost like winning the lottery, like you just have to make the right content at the right time. That's like interesting enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I did that 2009 to 2011.
Well, that's not what Second Thought did, right?
Second Thought, I mean, he straight up explains it in a video. He just got insanely lucky. He made a video about like whether or not we actually went to the moon. I think it was like debunking the landing, the moon landing was fakes narrative, the idea. Yeah. And I mean, for whatever reason, the algorithm just liked him, and it ended up just blowing up in the algorithm, basically.
But he first started with like just simply educational content, right? Stuff like, how do people think of how we were going to be in like 1910 or some shit like that. And then later on, he started making political content. So I think that seems like a pretty interesting strategy. Just like, I guess it seems kind of cloak and dagger, but yeah, you can just make a channel where it's about one thing, or maybe like general like education. Like imagine someone making, like armchair historian videos, and then once they get to a certain point, they're just like, haha, I was actually a commie the entire time, and then start making those videos.
Yeah. I like his anti-capitalist content.
Wait, armchair historian?
No.
Oh, second thought.
Yeah. Second thought is
That's
nice.
all he is now. Yeah, he's just but he started off as just simple education videos.
Yeah.
Actually, let me check his channel right now. Let me see, because let me see. Second thought, not third thought, not first thought. The second thought.
But what about third thought?
Yeah, so if you see like his videos, it's like, oh, how the inhabitants of this island cheat death. How to be happy. The truth about planned obsolescence. What will happen if we militarize space? How radioactive wine helps catch the bad guys. You know, it's basically, it's like something that you would see in like what's it, Kurt Skits or whatever. But to be fair, it looks like his channel is like 4 years old. Yeah.
My only real complaint there is that the militarization of space won't be used to defend us for aliens, so we just need to turn around and aim weapons back at ourselves.
No, what are you talking about? It's to defend ourselves from aliens. Wait, like, are you serious right now?
Well, that's what Duke Nukem's for.
Exactly.
Defend ourselves from animals and also to defeat China. You know,
We need to create the UNSC.
pretty much.
Or the Terran Federation from Starship Troopers. Or anything else.
Country from China.
Yellow man bad. You know how it is. Yellow man bad, guys.
No, that's when you don't think China's socialist.
Oh, I thought yellow man bad is basically like the entirety of the U.S. media because
Yeah, it is.
But it's also when you think China isn't socialist.
see.
China. The China virus.
Most people actually try to use that as a point against the Chinese, actually. Like, see, they're socialist and they're evil, more or less. I mean...
I like the one, yeah, but the U.S. refers to it as a Marxist state. Oh, the U.S. government even knows what socialism is.
Alright, die, assholes. Yeah, so I've been kind of hitting a writer's block lately in terms of, like, content. I mean, I don't regret doing the live streams. Like, that's pretty much what I'm, like, doing my bread and butter on lately, because it's... like I said, I've just kind of run out of stuff to respond to. I mean, Bunnytooth, you sent me that video that just spent, what, a couple hours misrepresenting Marx? So I guess there's that.
Not a couple hours. It was, it's about like if you count all the videos together, it's probably a solid 25 minutes. It's a pretty interesting video. Also, because it got a lot of views. Well, it's in the like tens of thousands, but nonetheless, like, you know, more views than you get.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something worth responding to. I mean, shit.
But what about PragerU on urine and feces?
Wait, PragerU on what?
Urine and feces. Didn't see that video?
I am not familiar with it. What's it about?
Prager was talking about something else, and he goes, urine and feces.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Basically, they take a lot of what Daniel Prager and other people say out of context, and they just make it into like a bunch of memes.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So PragerU, I like PragerU poop. Socialism is based on
Toilet
selflessness. Capitalism's based on selfishness. I always found that to be very entertaining.
I've always loved the logic of that. I had a teacher say that once. You know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I said, then where do your bad intentions take us?
Yeah, people don't really understand the whole meaning of that phrase, I think. Or that phrase is kind of taken out of context a lot. But
Fuck it, I'm just gonna do bad things.
yeah, so all in all, the whole point of the road is paved. The road to hell is paved on good intentions. It's basically everybody means well is the general idea. Everyone means well. Everyone has like their best, what they think is best interest in mind or at heart. But ultimately, we need to pay attention to the outcomes and the consequences of our actions. It's just the general idea of it. But anyways, where were we? We were, I think we were here. Yeah, we were going that way.
Have you ever seen the PragerU video where it talks about the legend of Dennis Prager? Like it's literally like watching a bio, but the bio was written by the guy himself. Like,
oh, really?
when Dennis Prager was in school, he often bothered his teachers by questioning the narrative of what they were saying.
No, I know, right?
It's like, how? God damn! I didn't think you could actually get your head that far.
He challenged mainstream evil liberal commie narratives, such as women's rights, a minimum wage, fairness.
Don't you know that Western civilization is what ended slavery and created women's equality? He literally believes the U.S. is the one who ended slavery.
Ben Shapiro showed up on PragerU, and he actually said something along the lines of that as well, is that America wasn't founded by slavery. It was founded in spite of it, and it was actually like... it was actually because of Americans, or it was basically because of the founding fathers that slavery ended. They weren't the ones who owned the slaves. It's funny, like they love to take credit. They love to give credit where it's not due. They like to act like all the progress we have hasn't been in spite of America, you know? Because that's pretty much what it's been. Most of the progress we've had is because it's straight up been in spite of America.
Name me one founding father that owned slaves.
George Washington.
No, he didn't own slaves.
Oh, I gotcha.
They were just exploited employees.
I mean, they were employees that, in exchange for working for they got room and board and food.
Yeah, that's a lot like regular employments, isn't it? You know, because we just have an extra step where we are given green paper and we exchange the green paper for food and living quarters. You know, but George Washington was such a kind and nice guy that he skipped all that arbitrary bullshit and just gave it to his workers directly. Such a nice dude.
He skipped the slavery with extra steps.
Yeah, it's just slavery at that point.
Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm very adamantly against capitalism because under slave society, the master has a very intimate and personal relationship with his slaves. He knows all their names and he knows everything about them when they live under him. You know what I'm saying? So,
did you ever see those drawings of the slave ships and how people were all packed into them? It's basically just public transportation to work.
You know, there was actually a book written in like the 1800s that unironically advocated for slavery because of what you just said, Trav.
Yeah, I believe it. Historically, liberals have straight up apologized for slavery. Like, if you go back 150 years.
Let me get the book, because I thought it was very fascinating. Don't ask me why I know about it. Let me see. No, it's not that. Where is it? It was saying that, like, slavery is like true communism or something like that. Hold on.
I've heard people try to claim that slavery is like feudalism.
Yes, because feudalism is when people live collectively.
Feudalism is when you have a commons, and the more commons it is, the more feudalist it is.
When it's really common, it's communism.
Exactly. Oh fuck, I'm dying.
I can't find the. Wait, what the fuck? It was around here somewhere. Wait, is it this book? Institution Beyond the Hill. By casting slavery in humane Christian terms. Okay, here we go. It's called Sociology for the South by George Fitzhugh. I'll post it in the chatteroonie here. I'm Lily Voidtooth. Don't ask me why I have these names. All right. Yeah, so you guys want to look into that? That's definitely a book to tear into. It's like how old? And let's see how old this is. Like 18, like 80. $1854. Yeah, so this guy definitely beats Marx. Yeah, so.
No,
Oh, if you want to review one video, sorry about that.
no, go ahead.
I found this out recently because I got an advertisement for it. But have you guys heard of the Tuttle twins? You heard about that?
I've not heard of them, but it sounds good already.
Is it like the tunnel snakes?
No. Okay, you want me to just send you the video and you can like watch it in here?
Sure.
Is it like some libertarian twins or something?
Don't just watch it, okay? Just watch it. Be taken by surprise.
Aren't those the guys from OC Shoppers?
No, it's not. It's not actually like twins.
Oh shit. My bad, guys. I meant to share the sound.
A Wi-Fi is out.
We must seize the means of production.
Stop it, Vlad. You know the rule. If you want to regulate something, go regulate the mess in your room. It seems a big part about being a mom these days is helping your kids unlearn the crazy ideas they're exposed to in the world.
Mom, I just found out that if I run into the TV fast enough, I'll become a cartoon.
Nope, that will kill you. And it's not just normal kid stuff either. Now, my kids are being told by the media and even the school system that socialism is great.
Mama, if we just get rid of all these successful people, we'll finally be happy.
No, honey, that just...
Oh, more brazen misrepresentation of an ideology. How about that?
We'll all be poor. I want to teach my kids right, but it is so hard to find age-appropriate material to teach them about the principles of freedom. The blocks are the supply, and when people want them, that's demand.
Is that what Dad meant when he said you're too demanding?
Luckily, I now have the Tuttle Twins to help us. The Tuttle Twins is a series of books.
I just had a really good idea. What if we started making children's books like that was communist propaganda?
I can name two of them already.
No.
Like a reverse Animal Farm.
No, we're not doing that.
No, I can already name two of them that already exist.
Sure, go ahead.
There was a guy named Russ Lippett who wrote. I know because I have him on my friends list. He wrote something like something very similar to that, and there's another one called Stories for Little Rebels.
I like that second one. It sounds kind of cute.
What do you say it's called?
Stories for Little Rebels.
Huh.
Oh, I guess there's three because...
Or Tales for Little Rebels, I guess.
If I ever have kids, I might just get this for them. Well, let's finish this up.
Written for freedom-loving parents that teach correct principles about free markets in clear and relatable stories. You know, clear and relatable, so opposite of socialists.
So it's just brazenly propaganda.
Yeah, well, no, it's not propaganda. It's just education.
But wait, it says the golden rule. But the last time I checked, the golden rule is that it's not gay when it's in a three-way.
Well, yeah, you see that goes against communism.
Guys, look at this. I just appreciate this right here. See that?
Oh, I got Tara. Also, Well, yeah, just finish the video. I'll show you something else.
2 million copies sold. These books are the best way to teach your child real-world topics not covered by most school curriculum.
Mom, I demand cookies. There's no more supply.
Oh. So if you have offspring and don't want them supporting socialism, then click the link and order the Tuttle Twins books today.
Got to get them while they're young, and you gotta have big corporations buy out a shit ton of copies to boost the sales of them. You know, that actually does happen though. Like for these right wingers or conservatives, like, you know, these bestsellers like Why Socialism is Evil by Rand Paul and the likes. The reason why these books turn into bestsellers is because you end up having like a generous benefactor who just buys like thousands of copies, and they like, you know, like say the Cato Institute or like PragerU, and then when they have like their assemblies, they'll just hand them out for free. So like the bestseller is just totally like artificially manufactured. It's pathetic. Like nobody buys these fucking books except like other rich people.
See, that's what gets me, because you see this, like you have this family, and they have the kids reading the book. Who the fuck does that anymore? I've never seen this.
Yeah,
The last time I saw this, I was a child, and that's about 30 years ago.
The only time I read a book was like in high school.
Yeah,
and now
my son or daughter is going to be a communist. I don't care what my girlfriend says. I'm teaching him the ways of ML at a young age.
So how do you think the reviews on this book or this book series is?
I would love to buy a copy just so that I could leave a sarcastic review.
Yeah, just look up Tuttle Twins like that.
This book taught me that my
reviews.
kids were freeloaders, so I killed them.
Nice.
Yes.
Here, guys, I'm going to
This
leave my
book
thoughts.
caused me to hurt my children.
Never read it, not buying it, never read it, and I don't plan on it. I just came to stop by and tell you all that
The review you
communism is inevitable, and there's nothing you can do about it.
you should just put this. The 63rd edition of Mein Kampf was terrible.
Yeah. So that everything that right wingers espouse about communism is pure lies and projection. And if you've ever opened up a history book, you would know just how wrong grifters like the person who wrote these books are.
Well, at least
There we
you're
go.
still reading theory.
Exactly.
You know what? Send me a link to that. I want to read one too.
No, all you got to do is type in Tuttle Twins reviews, and you could do it too.
Or just Tuttle Twins, it says on the bottom.
Yeah.
Hey parents, kids like us have a problem, and it's
I love it. Every video is getting ratioed. Look at that shit. Every video is getting ratioed.
Where'd you leave the thing? Is it on Goodreads?
Not
No,
gonna lie.
just look up. It's on like the Google
There it
like
is.
reviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Symbolizing the capitalist system with a Jenga tire is such perfect irony. I can't believe it wasn't intentional. You know what's so crazy is that we have a growing left presence. We have a growing left presence. Like, we have all these people that have anti-capitalist sentiment. You have channels like Second Thought and Jimmy Dore, and we have like a growing number of people that are either left or left of center. So, my question is like, don't you think it should be easier than ever before to like organize and constitute some sort of like meaningful like workers org? I mean, I know that they're like appearing around and about, but I was thinking like beyond this YouTube channel, beyond our YouTube channels, why don't we do something like that? Why don't we talk about organizing with people in real life and just using these channels to reach and build up, leftist presence in general?
I left my review.
I guess the problem may be like the space you're dealing with, right? Like we're talking about. Well, first of all, we're talking about the Anglosphere. We're not even talking about just the United States, because, for example, we have a Canadian in the chat, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And we have people like from the UK and Australia, and all these other places. So, I mean, even if we're just talking about the United States, like the United States is gigantic.
Yes, it is. Excuse me. Which is why we need more leftists.
One that you can help solve. But most parents aren't even aware the problem exists. Here's the issue.
And you are.
They aren't teaching young kids really important concepts, like how the economy works, or what our rights are, or the definition of true laws.
Back before you were born, schools often taught the principles of a free society.
But not anymore. That's why our parents have us read.
Okay, just real quick pause. I feel like one of those kids, like they're gonna be like a Ben Shapiro or something like that.
I feel sorry.
You were thinking the same thing, right?
I feel so sorry for these kids, man.
I was going to say, I will make sure that my kids beat you up in school.
Yep, setting them up early in life. It's exactly what religious fundamentalists do with like Jesus camp and shit. They send these kids off to like Jesus camp, like these indoctrination centers. I mean, that's literally like what props up liberalism, is a lot of the same institutions and so on that props up organized religion. It's like it's just pure ideology. I mean
isn't that how you kind of prop up any system? Is you prop it up via like the young and through programs. I don't think really any other society is much different.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm just saying we need to get to a point to where we're starting to reach the kids, man. And that's why it's a good thing waves of people are coming on the internet. I mean, I don't know how old my audience members are, but I'm willing to bet that there's a good contingent of people that are there that are younger than me.
Yeah, we absolutely know that.
Get them while they're young. Keep making these entertaining streams, and
I'm sorry, but that kid there, that boy kid, he looks like he's going to be a virgin until his parents pick a woman for him.
both of these kids, I feel so bad for. They're going to grow up hating and fearing an ideology that they don't even understand. And basically, they will be trained in the art of mental jujitsu to the point to where, like, they will never be dialectical materialists. Both of these people, when the system really starts crashing down, are going to be a lot more likely to go in the opposite direction of socialism ideologically, just because of how young they're being indoctrinated. It would be a miracle if they could break free from this.
But even then, I mean, a lot of people who are brought into that at a young age, don't they often rebel?
I mean, sometimes.
They react against it.
I mean, sometimes, certainly. I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, teenagers have their rebellious phase, but... Excuse me. But, I mean, if you're brought up believing a certain thing, and, I mean, implying it's not, like, imposed, because one of the reasons why teenagers rebel is, I mean, yeah, it's a phase, but it's also because, like, they're learning to think a little bit more independently about stuff and so on, or so they think. So, but I mean, I'm just saying it can go both ways as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's a good idea. And I've thought about this, you know, I've thought about, like, pretending to be, like, a right-wing asshole, while specifically when my son's a teenager. That way, I can strategically take advantage of the rebellious phase to turn him into a communist by using reverse psychology.
Okay, please don't do that. Do not do that shit. Holy shit.
I was thinking about it, doing some reverse psychology. That would be, now, talking about Machiavellian, that would be some...
No.
Please
Stop.
That'd be some 4D chess, bro.
You're bringing out my antinatalist, okay?
kind of pisses me off that like this in this video I'm being talked down to.
By children.
Yeah. Just fair warning. What the living fuck?
Hold on, let's
YouTube kids.
Let's see what else they got. Damn, they're churning this shit out.
Are you saying as communists you are being offended by these videos? They
Yeah.
got you. They got you guys. Jesus.
I am offended.
Yeah.
Why would I listen to these
got
little shits? I could kick their ass like so easily.
Okay, Jay.
Anyone who disagrees with me as a communist doesn't sound like freedom to me. Yeah, people have the freedom, except for the freedom to think for themselves. You're free to...
Black Friday golden ticket detail. Oh my god.
You know, do you guys ever feel like... If you got any other video suggestions, let me know, by the way. But, do you ever guys feel like the notion of freedom from, like, the liberal point of view or the liberal world outlook, just it feels kind of like it doesn't mean anything? Like, freedom is like inner beauty. It can mean anything, so it means nothing. Like,
Well, it has to be very multifaceted and therefore lose any specificity.
Question. Okay, first a statement. Trav, I sent you a video. And second, which do you think contains a higher grade of reading? This book or Ben Shapiro's book?
that
I would
is...
say probably both around the same grammar level.
That's
No.
that's a pretty tough one.
If you want to control people's thoughts, begin by controlling their thoughts. That's totalitarian thinking. A decade ago, few people could even tell you what the word thoughts meant.
Have you ever pushed a beach ball underwater? What happens? It pops right back up. Have you ever pushed a baby underwater? What happens?
The baby fucking dies.
Capitalism is based on human greed. Socialism is based on toilet paper.
If you want to avoid a bad outcome with a police officer, follow this simple rule. When a cop gives you a lawful command, say no.
You don't have to be religious to be religious.
The existence of God.
Hold on, who is this lady? You know,
Abigail Shear. I don't know who she is. I just know that's her name.
okay, how do you spell it? Abigail...
S-H...
Oh, here we go. Schreer. Okay, so University of Oxford, Columbia. If she can afford to go to the University of Oxford...
Yale.
Yeah.
Right there. Yale.
Yeah, something tells me this woman does not have working class origins. Class background.
Of course, a commie would say that.
Just saying.
Why are you discriminating against her income?
Because...
There's no law that says you can't discriminate against people based on class.
Oh, shit,
No,
you're
I'm
right.
just-
You got me on that one.
I mean, when you come down to it, it really does come down to class interests more than anything else. Like, why people oftentimes believe as they do. Like, I mean, you'll find, like, liberals within the ranks of people who live in suburbs, like middle-class suburbs. You'll find people that, like, have more left-leaning sentiments and so on. But in general, the real reason why you don't find, like, more actual socialists in America, I just feel like the reason why there's such a strong, like, anti-revolutionary sentiment, or like a sense of, like, actual push for, like, challenging power, is part of it just comes down to class interest. Like, people just don't want to rock the boat, you know?
That video is pretty funny. You should go on.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
Yeah. And whatever.
To be religious.
The existence of God only ensures the existence of God. Imagine for a moment a world in which there was no murder or theft. This would drive me mad. I like murder. I like to kill people for fun. Here is a fact. Dennis Prager should frighten you. Mao remains revered in China. Every Chinese currency note has his picture on it. So why doesn't communism have the same reputation as Nazism? Reason number 1, they have much better music.
Within virtually any time frame, we find the climate changing for reasons we do not fully understand. Meanwhile, human-caused CO2 emissions are higher than ever for reasons we do not fully understand.
I'm
Ben Shapiro. Super genius. Imagine a group of activists so powerful that they could beam their propaganda directly into your ass. The people making TV don't merely want to entertain you. They want you to...
Ben Shapiro looks too small for that suit. I'm not gonna lie.
I think he's too small for anything, really.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Ben Shapiro's sister, Abby, just looks like Ben Shapiro in drag.
With better boobs.
No, I think she just looks like a bigger Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just saying, like,
Are you really Googling that?
yeah, like if you go side by side, you know, like legit.
I mean, I don't want to surprise you, but my
genetics.
sister actually kind of looks a little like me.
I mean, yeah, this is kind of how siblings work.
Yeah, it's just it's almost like she looks just like him. Like the resemblance is almost uncanny, is all.
They think. And unless you're aware of what they think, chances are you think they think that they think like you think.
It was the height of the Cold War. The Vietnam War was raging for reasons we do not fully understand.
The God you believe in is...
Hey, wait, Bunnytooth. Did you know that PragerU, a guy from PragerU said that we won the Vietnam War?
Real shit?
Yeah, no, PragerU thinks we won Vietnam. It's such massive fucking cope.
That's so metal. Because obviously, you know, it was a tie.
Yeah.
I give it 10. I give it 5 to 10 years before they start saying they won the Afghan war.
Yeah, I mean, when State Department talking heads say we won that war, it's
what did they even say? Did they just say we won it and that's it? Like, did they add anything? Did they say like, here's why? Or, like,
I don't even remember what their reason was for, but I mean, I'm pretty sure we watched it on my channel before. A lot of stupid stuff comes out of PragerU. I feel like I'm actively losing brain cells whenever I like watch any of their live streams. By the way, that's how far I made it into Envy.
I see. Yeah, we definitely need to go through that.
Yeah. So my issue with Envy, her video, is like she's taking a lot of time to say very, very little, you know, or she's talking about things, but none of it is like stuff like it's either intuitive or it's things that I don't really particularly like feel a need to critique or desire to critique. I don't know.
Well, you do.
I know I need to, but it's just like she takes forever to get to the point is all I'm trying to say. It's a very drawn out video, and effectively, I mean, what's the point of it? She's basically saying that what leftist politics or the politics of envy, or like, you know, radical leftists are a lot like incels in that, you know, they want this extremist solution to moderate problems. I don't know. She kind of like...
Oh, Unruhe needs to be left back in.
Oh, Unruhe left? Okay.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I meant to hit comments, but I hit login instead. So
that's all right. It happens.
All right. Let's finish this.
Not only not good, that God is cruel. That God made a world filled with liberals. That God made a world filled with urine and feces. That God is a black lesbian toilet. That's the American Trinity. And like the Christian Trinity, you cannot remove any one of the three. Western civilization, the civilization that ended women's... Western civilization, any one of...
I think you made it pretty clear. Black lesbian toilet.
No, Puritus, what's unum? So I see...
E pluribus unum.
I don't know what's a pluribus.
Out of many, one. Unity.
Unity. Unity.
It sounds all like communism.
Trust. Liberty. No.
Well, it's all. I mean, it's all the same. Like, we're gonna use the same shit. It's always like justice, liberty, unity, brotherhood.
In God we trust literally had nothing to do with the foundation of the country.
It absolutely did. What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure the opposite was they didn't trust God.
No, they loved God. What? Well, you wouldn't understand. You're Canadian. Okay, get out of this.
That's the point.
Remove any one of the
so it blows up.
Western civilization, the civilization that ended women's equality, created slavery, created murder. What? In the biblical book of Unruhe, it says, if someone has a rebellious son who does not obey his father and mother, the citizens could kill him to death with feces. I am reorienting the school away from academics and toward unjust suffering. This school, self-esteem will be attained in only one way, racism. It is my intent, by the time you leave this school, you will be among the few your age to distinguish between urine and feces. No obscene language will be tolerated anywhere on this school's property. By obscene language, I mean the words plus epithets such as or, and you will address all teachers by the N-word, narcissism. Condom wearing, the school's clubs will be based on Nazism. Clubs that transport you to the wonders and glories of genocide. It is my intent that black students will be this school's property. I will club to death all teachers who teach global warming, and there will be no more attempts to convince you that the earth is round. This school will have failed. If any of you graduate, if you leave this school without being murdered or enslaved, this school will have failed. What kind of place is this? Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country.
Good stuff. Good stuff. That's pretty funny. How Prager you lies to you. Yeah, we already know that. That's
we could actually watch. Well, we shouldn't watch, of course, all of them. But I was thinking one of those videos that I sent you.
Sure.
Watch. Hold on. I want to specifically, because I don't want to go on something that's already been talked about, to death.
All right. Well, yeah. Just go ahead and send me something.
Yeah, let me get it real quick. So it's a 3-part series. I wanted to go over the third one because I think y'all would find it interesting.
Y'all?
Yes, y'all. Is there a problem?
No, nothing. Nothing.
Renee gets my terminology. All right, here we go. My vocabulary.
Ready when you are.
Oh, I didn't put it in the. Hold on. I put it.
Oh, I got you. All right. Oh, okay.
It's the third part, which is about technology and trends.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I think all the commies in the chat.
It's safe to say. When I was in college.
Okay. Let's go in full screen. Window.
Study economics.
Wait, I forgot I keep forgetting to do this, but I meant to share the audio. Oh man. Alright. Chrome tab. Here we go. Let's do this Chrome tab.
I was briefly under the delusion that Marxists were human beings like you and me, and they could adjust their position in response to logical arguments. So I engaged one in conversation as a believer in market economics, and she asked me what I, as a capitalist, made of the tendency of the rate of profit to fall. Well, I replied, I don't know what that is. Could you please explain it to me? Oh, it's not very hard. It's just the tendency of the rate of profit to fall. Right, but I've not heard that term in any of my economics classes, not even the ones that cover Das Kapital and other things written by Marx. So could you please just tell me what it is so I can give you an answer? The leftist paused for a moment and smirked. You don't get to speak to me like that, she replied.
Pause the video.
I was left.
Please allow me to whip his fucking ass by explaining the rate of profit to fall. In terms of understanding the productive capacity of individual capitals, when there's a production of a commodity and that commodity reaches the market, there is an eventual saturation point at which the consumer no longer has a demand for that commodity. When that happens, the profitability on that commodity will go down because it's not being sold. It's really not fucking rocket science. This, of course, is why, and I'll give him credit because he says the tendency of the rate of profit to fall and doesn't call it the falling rate of profit. So I'll give him credit for saying it, that this is an actual tendency, not something that is like an iron law that is going to happen. In fact, it was the bourgeois economist, goddamn, what was his name? He wrote Thomas Piketty, who wrote Capital in the 21st Century, who, aside from disagreeing with Marx, actually shows a chart that since at least the probably about the 1700s, the rate of profit actually did go on a downward trend all the way up until today. So not only did this guy not even bother to even Google it, he obviously didn't talk to a Marxist that even knew what it was. Now, I gave you the down and dirty quick version of it. I didn't give you the full detailed explanation of the tendency of the rate of profit to fall.
Yeah, so basically what this guy's saying is I talked to a leftist and they didn't know what it was. So, okay, well, I want to hear what he says. I want to hear what he
actually... Real quick.
Yeah.
Deluge wants to, join the stream. So
sure, I will send him... I mean, you have an invite. You can send it to him. But here,
right.
Here, actually, I'll just give it to him.
Okay.
I'll wait for him to come in, and then we can continue. Actually, better yet, because I can watch it from here.
With just one question. What the fuck is the tendency of the rate of the profit to fall? Eventually, I would discover what it truly was. Yet another reason to disregard all Marxist doctrines of economics, politics, and life. This is the third and final part of my series on why the best use for Das Kapital is emergency toilet paper, and we'll be taking on a concept once called the backbone of revolutionary Marxism.
He's got Capital confused with Atlas Shrugged, but continuing on.
I will show you where I have made my home.
God, this is so cringe. Just get to the fucking point.
This video will have to gloss over some of the details to be moderately entertaining, but we'll be thorough enough to end this series on a high note. We'll examine the theory in depth, we'll lay out why its predictions have failed, and lastly, we'll lay out why its predictions seem like they succeed sometimes. And hopefully I'll avoid boring you to death along the way. If any of this sounds appealing to you, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and hitting the bell button for notifications on future videos to help the channel. So what is the TRPF? TERF? TERF? We'll call it the TERF. The TERF is Marx's way of conceiving of technological progress under capitalism. As technology happens, the manpower costs of producing one more unit of product fall. Therefore, in order to save costs, the capitalist fires workers. Since only workers can create real output, total output falls and unemployment rises. Total profits fall as well, and we can see that it was the...
No, it isn't. Marx did theorize something along those lines, that if you leave workers without work, they can't buy things. But that's not what the tendency of the rate of profit to fall is. He's outright fucking lying.
He's not lying. He's just beating your ass.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna beat his mom's ass.
He's ponying you. Epic style.
Deluge still in here.
Yeah, this guy doesn't know anything about Marxist economics. In fact, I should reply to this and completely tear it apart.
Yeah, no, this is definitely worth responding to. Yeah, he's got that 6,000 subscriber clout.
That's what I'm saying, my guy.
Let's see what else he has to say.
Did you know Anne Van cheated on her husband? The Atlas Shrugged debunked.
Did you know that Ayn Rand was a...
Meth head?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, yes. She was addicted to amphetamines.
Yep. Anyways.
That's kind of metal.
Capitalists' hubris that led them to their end. Their drive for profits was the destruction of their profits. How Shakespearean. Capitalist economic theory has little to say in response to the turf for a variety of reasons, but if we read what economists have said about technological change, we can cobble together an answer from the works of a bunch of different scholars. Technological change and how it influences jobs is a long and complicated topic that you could write an entire book on, or several. And so we're going to have to play a bit fast and loose to get to the juicy stuff here. It's true that technological progress reduces the cost of producing a certain number of goods, so you could just cut workers to cut costs and produce the same number of goods with lower costs, but why would you do that when you could produce more goods? And if technology means that each worker can produce more relative to their wage than before, it would make more sense to increase your costs and hire more workers instead of less. This is why every serious model of economics under capitalism says that if costs fall due to technology increasing, you see an increase in employment in competitive markets. So now that we have...
Wait, what? What? Where is his work cited for this? Hold on.
Wait, no. Stop, Chad. Stop. You're being too mean.
No, like that's
he doesn't
not
need works cited. Works cited doesn't matter to him.
It's not true though. Like that's straight up not fucking true at all. Like if you introduce a combine to a farm, that combine is going to be able to do like 3-5 dozen people's worth of work, you know, in a day in like an hour. Well, this is the whole reason why we moved to the service economy, is because we've become so productively advanced as a civilization that like the manufacturing jobs just aren't.
Oh my shit! He just replied to me. I left a thing. Could have Googled what Marx actually gave as the tendency of rate of profit to fall instead of outright lying about what it is, and he replied, "Soy."
Yo, that's quick. I like this.
Wow, what a bitch.
Oh yeah, you guys definitely did reply.
Yeah, no, he's getting a reply, all right.
You could do a collaboration.
We absolutely could. Jason, you interested in a little takedown collab?
Could do that.
Yeah, we absolutely could. We could just take this dude down. I keep dying. But
each video is not that long. I mean, they're around like
not at all.
5 to 8 minutes.
I could make a response to this shit in like 10 to 15. It wouldn't need to be very long at all. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue.
Theories ready, we can examine reality and determine which model was right. I'll give you a hint. It's the one that wasn't left. As technology has increased and costs have fallen in areas such as computer chip production, production has increased and employment hasn't fallen. If we look at the world overall, we can see that outside of economic crises, which have nothing to do with this, global unemployment has fallen while technological advancement has only gotten faster and faster. All of this is in line with capitalist theory. If you're trying to maximize profits, it makes sense to hire more workers when productivity goes up. Furthermore, in order to get to the...
He literally just claimed that economic crisis and capitalism isn't capitalism.
Oh, so no true Scotsman fallacy. Well, he's also making this claim that as technological development goes up, employment goes up as well. Yeah, employment in the service economy. We're moving away from manufacturing. Like, how about rather than just taking total unemployment numbers and extrapolating it out to like all sectors, you actually look at employment and manufacturing, which is what Marx was talking about. So,
well, as technology went up, you mean as the population expanded and more people were needed, that means more goods and services are going to be needed. That means you're going to need more people to provide those commodities and services. That's just called economic expansion. He's literally just attributing economic growth to technology when really it's just actually population growth.
No.
Yeah, the biggest problem with this video and with this whole series is that a lot of it just goes down to obfuscation. So you would say technological advancement rather than getting specifically at the efficiency of production or lowering the cost of production.
Yeah, the cost of production is getting cheaper. And if you look at any manufacturing field, like if you actually look at manufacturing and you look, it's specifically in manufacturing or in agriculture. Look at what happened with agriculture. We had the Industrial Revolution, and populations around the world that were originally like agrarian subsistence farmers moved out from the farms and into the cities. Because why? Because combines and modern farming technology allows us to do like orders of magnitude. Like look at the productivity of American agriculture versus India. Like here in America, we outproduce India by like exponential amounts because we have such advanced farming measures. While in India, you still have agrarian subsistence farmers. So again, proof. And like, so what he's talking about with like global employment's increasing, yeah, that's because there's an expansion. A lot of these countries are expanding and they're advancing, and now they're starting to move into the service economy as well. Like, there's a reason why like such a small percentage of our population now works in agriculture, manufacturing, and why people are sent, to do gig work and service work. I mean, and it's just to keep people doing shit to keep the capitalists wealthy, So yeah, you guys are absolutely right. He's making a false correlation here.
The point where each worker has the most productivity relative to their wage, you have to build massive factories. And so
All right.
Okay, so
the cost of a factory has grown significantly each year, from $10 million in the 80s to almost $2 billion in 1999. The expectation is that the cost of semiconductor,
what does that have to do with it?
By about 3% per year. Okay, factories, that actually vindicates the falling rate of profit even more, because the share of constant capital is growing versus variable capital. Constant capital 3 is significantly expanding, and it's actually expanding disproportionately to variable capital V. This, once again, does not prove what he thinks it proves. I don't know. You guys got any more commentary?
Well, he has a source.
He completely invalidated himself when he falsely claimed what the falling rate of profit is. I mean, that's like the first half of his video invalidated right there.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely lost the plot on that one.
Actually, no. Actually, wait a minute. That actually invalidates his entire video. He's explaining why this definition of the tendency of the rate of profit to fall is wrong, when he's already given a false definition.
Yeah, so he's just
entire video is invalid.
Yeah, so he's just fractally wrong. Like that's just it. Like he's just fractally wrong because he's wrong from the very premise. And so therefore he's wrong, literally incorrect throughout the rest of the video. I mean, so yeah, good on him. Good on him. Wonderful. What a wonderful video.
You can only get your investment back if you hire a bunch of workers. So, all told, Marx got it wrong. Big surprise there. But
you only get your investment back if you hire a bunch of workers. Yeah, it's like labor creates value or something.
All right, well, again, it's not a hard law. It's a tendency. And if you look at the world rate of profit, as you pointed out earlier, Jason, the world rate of profit about 150 years ago was 47%. The world rate of profit today is about 15%. So let's see what else he has to say. But automation has caused unemployment.
But there are a few areas where it might look like he got it right to an untrained eye. So let's get those eyes of yours trained. The first area is the loss of jobs following automation in the auto industry in America. Isn't it true that we saw massive amounts of automation there in recent decades? And isn't it true that a large amount of jobs was lost? Why, I do believe that's checkmate, capitalists.
No.
Well, no, because those jobs weren't lost. They were moved to Mexico and other Latin American countries.
Okay, so
and that would be another consequence of the tendency of the rate of profit to fall. You have to keep moving it to cheaper and cheaper labor sources because the amount the massive profits, not just the rate of profits, were falling as well. That's why cheaper labor was sought out. Stupid just debunked his own argument.
Yeah.
That's something that needs to be brought up way more. Just tell people, why the fuck do you think these corporations are outsourcing labor to these countries? Why does it matter so much that like their wages are lower? I think that's the only answer, right?
I think that there's the liberal answer and there's the Marxist answer. The liberal answer is they just want more money. The Marxist answer is they have to do it because of the tendency of the rate of profit to fall.
But even with the more money thing, that still proves like the labor theory of value.
Yeah.
Well, the other issue, there's another issue to this as well, guys. The other issue is that most of our manufacturing is gone because of, it's not just neoliberalism. It is also because of straight automation. Like, machines are doing more and more with less and less effort over time. Like, there's not as much that goes into it as it used to.
This actually proves something else Marx said about increasing the organic composition of capital.
Yeah, exactly. That, like, the ratio of constant capital is increasing over time, a vindicated trend. Variable capital is going down over time, another vindicated trend. Again, global rate of profit is lower than ever before, and outsourcing. What do you think is going to happen once we've outsourced all these really cheap third world countries? They're going to see industrial booms of their own. They are going to advance. What's going to happen over there? Their productive forces will advance. What happens then? The share of manufacturing in those countries, like labor and manufacturing, goes down yet again. They transition to service economies.
Well, it kind of seems like you're suggesting that capitalism is a system based on infinite growth and requires infinite growth while living on a finite planet.
The Earth is not finite.
I forgot. There's also space mining.
Yeah. There's space mining. Forgot about
and
that.
Space labor.
Yeah, space labor, like The Expanse, right?
This guy literally has no fucking idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, this video is just plagued with ideology. Just the facts. Let's look at his Discord. You guys want to read?
It's not plagued with sources.
Oh yeah.
Look at how much shit that he stuffed into his description just so that it counts as keywords to get people to view it.
Oh wow!
Because Lord knows it ain't funny, epic, 4chan, Reddit,
Greg. Fortnite. No, I'm joking. There wasn't any Fortnite.
See, there it is, right there on your screen. Could have actually Googled Martin's just soy.
Oh my god!
Which is really funny because when you think of a soy boy, like I'm really not anything like that.
Well, it's just absolutely ridiculous. There's not really a lot to say besides that, but it's just absurd. This guy's absurd. I mean,
would have made more sense to call me fat.
His arguments just don't really stand up, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, literally all you have to do is point out that he gave a false description of what the tendency of the rate of profit to fall is, and you've literally destroyed the entire video. If the whole premise of this video is to explain why Marx is wrong on this issue, but then completely misrepresent what Marx says, then your whole video is bunk.
See, I think y'all should like divide this up, into like key points, and just make like a nice little, make it kind of a little bit sexy, because you want to make it sexy for those like 7,000 people or whatever who watch this video or whatever. Put his name in the title, and just divide it up between the two of you and upload it on both of your channels.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Just have a little collab. It would be
I agree, but I wonder if it's really worth nitpicking every single thing he says, or just Gordian, just Gordian, not the whole thing, and that his misrepresentation of the tendency of the rate of profit to fall. How much you want to bet if I Googled tendency of the rate of profit to fall, and Wikipedia gave me a better explanation?
Well, that's usually what happens. They don't tend to read the Wikipedia answer.
The ratio of profit to the amount of amount invested. The ratio of the profit to the amount of capital invested decreases over time. This was a hypothesis, blah, blah, blah. Marx. Gregory Hodgson stated that the tendency to be regarded by Marxists as the backbone of revolutionary Marxism. No. It's not.
It's analysis.
Marxists think that this is the backbone of revolutionary Marxism. Actually, this is what this guy claims that we see as it.
Oh my god.
He literally, like, if he did go to Wikipedia, he only read the first 2 paragraphs. Marx regarded it as an everlasting form of production, since the end of the profit principle would itself suffer a breakdown. What do you think economic crisis is?
Well, not only that, but we have seen breakdowns. Like, every 30 to 40 years, the system faces, like, pretty much a paradigm shift of some sort that threatens the very foundations with it, that irrevocably destroys those, like, it just completely destroys the economy. Like, we had the Depression, and if it wasn't for neoliberalism, the 1970s would have been another depression, honestly. Like, so again, like, they don't do neoliberalism. The reason why we ended up outsourcing is because of the falling rate of profit. Why? It's because you can pay workers in those other countries less than what you. I'm gonna have so much fun destroying this guy. I swear to God.
Which is a topic of its own and one that Marx didn't write much about. To the extent that those jobs were lost, which is real, worldwide employment numbers for a lot of car companies has gone down, it's because cars aren't like most goods. You can't sell someone twice the cars they would otherwise buy, though you can sell twice the amount of many other commodities. And
Evidence. What is? I mean, yeah, that's true, but what is your evidence that technology hasn't gotten more advanced and, like, manufacturing automobiles as a process hasn't become more streamlined? We used to have, like, dozens, hundreds of car companies around the world. Now we've got, like, 6. You know, globally, there's like 6. You got, like, what, Toyota, Honda.
To be honest, I actually know this for a fact. There used to be 200 in France.
Yeah, there used to be.
France,
Yeah, there used
when
to be.
automobiles first came out, there was about 200 automobile manufacturers in France alone. And also, the capitalism tends towards monopoly, which I'm sure he would also claim doesn't exist.
Oh, I think deluge is in the thing.
Okay. Let's see. Come on in. Welcome.
Join the headache.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Sorry it took me so long to join, lads. I was working out.
Yeah, hold that thought. I'll be right.
What's up? We're just talking about this video about the tendency of the rate of profit to rise.
Ooh.
The tendency of Marx to be wrong. Oh!
Oh shit. Got him.
I can't see you up. Wait, hold on. Let me.
If Marx was wrong, if Marx was right, why is he dead?
Part 3.
That's what I'm
technology
saying.
and Trends. Damn, bro, made 3 parts.
Yeah, we're just watching the 3rd part because it's. I thought it was particularly interesting, and I thought they would get a laugh out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Not really laugh, but you know, agony.
So you want to torture him?
Of course. I mean, isn't that entertainment?
Well, let's go ahead and
It is.
finish this up.
What are you eating?
Potato wedges.
Here you.
Our last point to consider is why some industries limit production to maximize profits. Even capitalist economic models will tell you that when markets aren't competitive, firms can come together and agree to produce less and charge a higher price to maximize profits. If they were competitive, small companies would enter, produce way more units at a lower price, and completely eat their lunch. Sounds like some solid turf. But let's wait a minute. Turf tells us that as technology and productivity per worker increases, employment decreases and production decreases.
not
And
for
even in industries where there are monopolies and other forms of restricted markets, production usually increases when technology increases. There are a bunch of complicated graphs which can be used to prove this, and this is just
Wait, what is he arguing? I'm sorry.
He's just saying, workers will move somewhere else, and that if people don't buy stuff, then there'll be less workers. Like, it's literally just a bunch of partially convoluted shit that has nothing to do with the falling rate, the tendency of the rate of profit to fall.
Right. Well, I'm gonna replay it.
eat their lunch. Sounds like some solid turf. But let's wait a minute. Turf tells us that as technology and productivity per worker increases, employment decreases and production decreases. And even in industries where there are monopolies and other forms of restricted markets, production usually increases when technology increases. There are a bunch of complicated graphs which can be used to prove this.
Okay, so what's his point? That's a non sequitur. He just went from saying that when technology, in theory, as technology improves, employment in production goes down, which is a historic trend. And then he's like saying, as technology increases, production increases. Bro, that doesn't.
That has nothing to do with anything.
This dude. Oh my God, this dude is stupid. Like he's just stupid. I don't know what else to say. He just.
I can tell you. I can tell you what he did because I've seen this a lot. He read someone's critique of Marx and then is just repeating it back.
Oh, just regurgitating it. So he doesn't even.
He doesn't actually know what he's saying.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe this guy doesn't know anything of what he is talking about. This dude is very dumb, very cringe. Let's go and finish it up.
And this is just one of the simpler ones, but they all say the same thing. Production increases when costs are decreasing. And of course, there are whole...
Yes! Yes!
And your point?
What's your point?
Books on exceptions to the rule, but at this point, all I can say is if you want to learn more, feel free to waste 4 years of your life earning an econ degree like I did. So...
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, he has an economics degree. I forgot about that. He is in the first video.
Okay, where?
I don't fucking know.
Who taught this idiot?
If you want to learn more, feel free to waste 4 years of your life earning an econ degree like I did.
Yeah, unironically you did.
No, in the first video, he says like, "Oh, I read Capital and I have an economics degree." So
you didn't read Capital, and I'd like to see this supposed economics degree.
So,
and if that's true, you just got your ass kicked by a bunch of people who didn't go to economics school at all.
So Default says in the chat, which I think is interesting, challenge this guy to a debate over Marxian economics.
He wouldn't accept.
I hope, you know.
Sorry about that. What'd you say?
Default wants you to challenge this person to Marxian economics. To a debate over Marxian economics.
I mean, I'm not super confident on the subject. I mean, even though this guy's demonstrated a lot of ignorance, it probably wouldn't be that hard of a debate, but honestly, I'd rather leave something like this up to a Magrino. Magrino would absolutely spank this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's... Actually, let me see. I want to see if I can communicate. Find this person.
I mean, yeah, let's go to his Discord. Just the feelings over his facts.
Discord raid?
No, don't raid them.
Well, I'm about to sign off just because I gotta go to the gym.
Right when the start of the show joins?
Yeah, sorry about that, Audible.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean this stream. I'm gonna title this "Just the Facts is an Idiot," and here's why.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm gonna make that folder now. Video topics. Here we go. Ponage. We will title it 2.1. Just the Facts is an Idiot, and here's why. In 3 parts. Here we go. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. But yeah, I do got to go to work in like 3 hours, and I would like to get some gym time in, and I got some other errands I need to run. But thanks for joining me, guys. This has been fun. We should do this again sometime.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for the suggestion. I guess you guys can hang out in Discord as long as you'd like, or just hang out. But I'm gonna go and kill the stream. Everyone else have a nice day.
Everybody.